All right, welcome back to the Blender Basics series, and this one is literally on only a couple of topics which are related. Duplicating objects, and that includes duplicating an object or duplicating vertices, faces, or edges, and also getting rid of excess overlapping geometry that sometimes happens when you duplicate things. All right, let's go and look at this. How do I duplicate something in Blender? Well, it's pretty easy. You click the object and you press Shift D and you pull it away. Now you have a duplicate. So if you look on the outliner, it has the cube, which was the original, and it has the cube 0.001, which is the duplicate. And obviously I can do this as many times as I want. I can just keep clicking and duplicating it. So you saw that though when I pulled it away, which I have to do, I have to pull it away to separate it, but it ended up in some weird arbitrary location, which isn't necessarily where you wanted it to go. Normally, the way that you duplicate things in Blender sort of with a more controlled way is by doing this. Click the object you want to duplicate. Shift D, as before, pull out. But now, without actually touching anything, press Escape. This now snaps the duplicate back into the position of the original. So now you have two cubes that are exactly on top of each other. Now that that's done, I can take this duplicate and move it somewhere in a more controlled way. So I can move to the side, but I know what I'm doing. I'm not just it hasn't been stuck in some weird arbitrary location. So that's how you duplicate objects in Blender. The other way you could do it is you could actually just copy it using the outliner. So for example, if I go to this and I would do Control C, Control V, I'll have copied it in sort of more of like a keyboard way. So once again, the same normal keyboard shortcuts used for copying and pasting are Control C and Control V. So I click the object, Control C, Control V. So I could do that also. Let me get rid of all these. I don't need this. I don't need this. I'll go back to my cube. All right, so here's my cube again. Now what I want to do is go into Edit mode and to just duplicate parts of the model, faces, edges, and vertices. So I'll go to Tab into Edit mode. Now let's say I want to duplicate a face. Go to face mode, click this, and exactly the same thing. Shift D, Escape, and now I have a duplicate, which you can't see yet, but if I go GZ, for example, I pull it down and you see that I have a duplicate face. And the same thing works for edges and vertices. So if I go to Edge mode, same thing, Shift D, Escape, and maybe move this to the side. There you see it, and same thing with vertices. Same thing, Shift D, Escape, and I'll move it up. All right, so that works for everything in Blender. That's how you duplicate things. Undo all this. So that's basically it for the duplication part. So the little rest of the video I want to show you is that sometimes you duplicate something, snap it back into the original position, but then maybe forget that you've done that, or there's some other reason why you have unnecessary duplicates that you might not want. One example is, okay, let's say I'm here, I'm in face mode, I click this face, I duplicate it, I snap it back to position, and all of a sudden my house is on fire. Oh my God, I gotta take care of my house. Now, put out the fire, I'm sitting in the smoldering remains of my house, and I get back to 3D modeling, of course, but I've forgotten that I've duplicated this face. So I start working on my model, and then it's kind of weird. Some weird things are happening, and I'm not really sure why they're happening, and it's kind of like, what is happening here? I don't know what just happened. I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's because you actually have two faces stacked on top of each other. If I go to face mode and I just delete this, there's still another face, so there were two. Now you might have just one face, in which case if I find it, I can just do exactly what I just did. If I know for sure there's another face, I can just delete it. Great. But you might have a bunch of stuff and you don't exactly know what's going on. Maybe there's duplicates, maybe there's not. So once in a while, if you suspect that's happened, the best thing to do, or the easiest way to do this, is to merge vertices. And I'll show you how to do that. Select the entire object, or the part that you think is maybe messed up. You do that with just A. I just pressed the button A. A in Blender means all. So everything in this case, I'm in edit mode, it means everything, the whole model. Now that I pressed A, the whole thing is selected. I go to merge by distance. To do that, I press M, and here is the distance here. So I click this, you're going to see on the bottom it says I removed 4 vertices. I removed 4 vertices because there was an extra face and that face had 4 vertices. Now, if I select this face here and I press delete, there's nothing underneath. I got rid of the extra face. That means I can have all these extra edges and stuff and just get rid of them all at the same time by merging stuff. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate that one. I'm going to snap it back into position. Now I have all these duplicate edges, and maybe I'll select the face and just screw that one up. Now I have all this random stuff that's duplicated, and I can't tell because it's all in exactly the same position. Well, I'll do what I just did. A for the whole model. M, merge by distance. And because the distance is very small, it's only going to merge things that are really right on top of each other. So it's actually not that small because I actually put it down. I put it in the previous video a bit higher. It could be really low. And even with that tiny little increment, I removed 10 vertices because they were literally on top of each other, and it will remove it. In the previous video, I showed you merge by distance. If the vertices were slightly apart, you would have to increase the distance. But in this case, the default distance works fine because they're right on top of each other. So that's kind of a way of cleaning up a model that you suspect or know has overlapping parts that you don't want. That's how you do it. So there you go, duplicating and deleting unnecessary geometry. Thank you.